Hi everyone, I'm Ozgur, a second-year PhD student at Georgia Tech. Today I'm going to present our CVPR 2024 highlight paper titled RAVE, Randomized Noise Shuffling for Fast and Consistent Video Editing with Diffusion Models. So let's begin. Recent advancements in diffusion-based models have excelled at generating images from text, but video editing models lag in visual quality and user control. In this work, we address the text-guided video editing problem, aiming to transform original videos based on prompt changes. For example, a video of a swimming turtle is edited to reflect the Pokemon style. To address this problem, we introduced RAVE, the fastest video editing approach available at the time of the submission, and the zero-shot framework that eliminates the need for pre-training on individual videos. And it's compatible with any available off-the-shelf pre-trained text-to-image diffusion models on the web, supporting videos of any length. Our inspiration comes from a phenomenon called the grid trick, also known as a character sheet, which is a popular hack in the art community. This approach allows for applying a consistent style to all images in a grid using a T2I model, as shown in the figure. As illustrated in the figure, when the model is provided with conditions such as line art and the pose of each frame in a grid shape, 3x3 in this case, and given a text prompt, it can produce a grid where each generated character remains consistent across all sections. The effectiveness of this simple method in creating multiple images with a consistent style lies in how the diffusion model edits a single grid. Motivated by this trick, the question now is how to extend this method for zero-shot video editing. Adapting this trick for video editing involves transforming the input video into a grid layout and feeding it to a T2I editing tool. The modified grid is then unfolded into separate frames and sequenced to produce the final video. However, maintaining consistency in longer videos is challenging due to GPU memory constraints, which limit the number of frames per grid. For instance, if a GPU can only handle a 3x3 grid in total 9 frames, longer videos must be split into multiple grids, resulting in internal consistency within each grid but noticeable style differences between them. Taking it a step further, one could modify well-known attention mechanisms, such as sparse causal attention for the grid structure. In this adaptation, attention shifts from the initial and previous frames to the initial and previous grids. However, this approach may still struggle to maintain consistency in longer videos. Therefore, to achieve consistency across grids, we introduce a novel noise shuffling approach that ensures consistent styling across independent grids. Our process begins with performing a DDM immersion using a pre-trained T2I model, and extracting conditions using an off-the-shelf condition preprocessor applied to the input video. Next, the grid structure is formed for the preprocessed videos, the condition grids, and inverted latents, the latent grids. Instead of processing each grid and the latent grid sequentially to produce the final video output, which yields undesirable results as shown in the previous slides, our approach involves randomly shuffling the order of frames at each time step of the sampling process and allocating frames to different grids in a random order. In other words, the shuffle function randomly rearranges the locations of frames within a given set of grids. By randomly forming grids from latents arranged in a random order, we encourage spatio-temporal interaction between each frame throughout the denoising process. Here, we show some qualitative examples of a wolf transformed into a white cat, a dinosaur, and a shiny silver robotic wolf accordingly. And here, a swan swimming in a lake is transformed into a Swarovski blue crystal swan and a crochet swan, respectively. Additionally, unlike many current text-guided video editing models, our approach can handle shape edits ranging from simple to extreme. For example, it can transform a car into a Swiss train, a tractor, or a fire truck. We also conduct comparisons with state-of-the-art video editing approaches, including token flow, fade 0, render a video, and text-to-video 0. In this comparison, a video of a bear is transformed into a complex description, and our approach proves to be visually superior to others. Quantitative results, additional examples, and ablation studies can be found on our webpage and in the supplementary document. Thank you for listening.